Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who's Beats, your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about the TV show One Day, which was based off of a book called One Day by David Nichols, and then it was adapted into a film from like a while ago with Anne Hathaway. So we finally got this TV series. It's 14 episodes long, and it basically takes place of every year for the next 20 years, basically centered around this one day, which is July 15th. So we start in July 15th, 1988, with these two characters named Emma and Dexter. Emma Morley and Dexter Mayhew, and they are graduating from university in Edinburgh. When they first meet, officially, they spent a night together, and that's basically starts their relationship of being best friends. Now, their night together was not basically the normal night that they have together. Like, they basically just did everything under the sun except for that thing. And then they just talked. And then I guess they spent the next day together. That next day, Emma actually meets Dexter's mother and father. And, they spent a little bit of time together, and then they kept in touch later on. On that first night, Emma asked Dexter this very important question: where do you see yourself at age 40? And Dexter answers, being rich and famous. So that is very important. Just keep that in mind. So with this, show story that's being told in these 14 episodes is basically about these two individuals who basically kind of know that they would like to be together in a romantic sense, but they stay being friends or best friends. Like, they're very tight, like, they keep in touch together, whatever. We learn in the next episode that Emma and Dexter spent Christmas together in 1988 together. So, that's there. Over the course of the first half of the 14 episodes, Emma's basically trying to find her footing, with being an English major. She wants to be a writer, and she's doing these odd ends and jobs in the first half. She's 22, 23, 24. She's working at these taco restaurants, doing little side gigs here and there. And then I guess later on, like I said, 25, whatever, I don't know, she gets the job as being a teacher. So as getting a job as being a teacher, can kind of like help her into starting her writing career. For a school play in like 1992, 1993, she writes a school play. She helps it be executed, and they did a really good job. So it shows her how she works well with kids and how she's able to write like good things. Dexter, on the other hand, he is dealing with the loss of his mother because his mother died in 1992, I guess, from cancer. So before she was going through her therapy, chemo, and he took on drugs and alcohol as a way to, I guess, handle what he was going through. And as always, always still speaking to Emma. Emma was basically like his, cushion, his backbone, and things like that. So he would always call Emma up. There were scenes like when he was trying to call Emma on the payphone when Emma had her first date with Ian. And Emma was basically on a date. She never had a cell phone. Emma didn't have a cell phone. This is 1992, 93, 91. Like, Emma didn't have a cell phone. So if she wasn't home, we weren't gonna get that. Dexter, he got a career in media. He was being a host for these big, game shows, TV shows. And he actually became rich and famous. He was well known in the UK in European countries. And, I think around episode 5, Emma and Dexter go to a trip to Greece. They talk about things like that, show things about where the relationship could be. Dexter's saying like he can't deal with things that, seriously at this point because, he just lost his mother. So he's kind of like being like that, oh, he's only good for something like a little fun with no strings attached. Well, Emma is not like that. Emma, basically reveals to Dexter that she did have a crush on him and things like that from back then, but obviously doesn't go anywhere. They just have like the little bickerings and antics, but at the end of the day, they always come back to being, best friends, good friends. We get to episode 7, and, they have their, date night on that same, basically date night, whatever. They catch up about everything that's going on in their lives. And, while they're on this date night, Dexter is, being excused from the table to go to the bathroom to assumingly do drugs, which he's under the influence, and he barely spends any time with Emma while they're supposed to be catching up on their lives of what's going on. So Emma gets irritated and upset, and then Dexter sort of kind of basically, tries to humble Emma and tell her that, the reason why you're being a teacher is because those that, those that can do and those that teach, those that can't teach. So he basically tried to humble Emma, and Emma basically, did not have it. They had an argument, and, he's basically saying that he achieved his goal of being rich and famous, while Emma has not written anything that's been published. She's writing she has written plays, but have you written a book? And Emma at that point has not written a book. So basically lit a fire under Emma. Emma started trying to write things and things like that. She's doing her teaching job, whatever, We get to 1997. Is Tilly's wedding, Emma's best friend Tilly's wedding. She invites basically everybody from university and, stuff like that. And we finally see Emma and Dexter in the same room. They catch up, finally after, being around the bush the entire night, going around, Dexter's trying to, run after Emma because, they haven't seen each other since 1994. And with that being said, they finally catch up. Dexter tells Emma that he's getting married and he's having a child on the way. So with that big news to Emma, Emma's just like so shocked that she's losing Dexter once again because now he's gonna have to be a family guy. They actually share a kiss twice, and since they've been best friends for so long, they obviously keep it between them. He gets married to Sylvie, does have a child, and on the first year of marriage with Sylvie's actually cheating on Dexter with his best friend Callum, and that takes a turn for the worse. So I guess in that year when he finds out about that, cheating situation, he calls up Emma. Emma's his backbone once again. And, they asked him and they had their official one night stand. And when we get to the next episode 12, they meet up in Paris. Emma's finally a writer. She published her book. She's living in Paris. She has a sabbatical offer for teaching, and she has an advance from her teaching and all that stuff. So she's living like the good life. Like she got it like that. She made her big break. While Dexter is like, coming off of his big break, like, what I'm saying? Which it seems like, you kind of see like the parallels or whatever that's going on with these two characters. So when they told us that, they actually spent a time together, I was a bit shook So Dexter comes to Paris basically expecting to pick up where he left off while he's going through a divorce with his wife Sylvie. And Emma basically tells Dexter, like, bro, hold up. Like, yeah. Basically, what that night meant was probably because you were sad and you needed a shoulder to cry on. And Dexter's like, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. You know, because to be honest, Dexter did take Emma for granted. Like, let's be serious. Like, he did take Emma for granted. Like, anytime something goes wrong, Emma's like always there to, you know, help him out. That's his best friend, whatever. So Emma's just like, you know what, you know, yeah, we had a nice time together, but I don't think you were gonna take me seriously. So she meets this guy named John Pierre, and when we see that John Pierre reveal, Dexter got humbled. He got humbled to the point where they were supposed to have like lunch together, and you know, he was like, I got sick on the way here, I can't go, I'm just gonna say it. And when I tell you, when Emma shows up, comes back to the apartment and basically says this, like, oh, I told John Pierre the same thing, and basically we're just like, they have their little, they finally come together to be, you know, the Dexter and Emma that they are supposed to be. We were just like, it was like a shocking scene, like, finally after these 10-11 years, you're finally together. Like, from 1988 to 1999, you fought over the 11 years, you're finally together. And, you know, it was just like, all this back and forth and this and that. It's just like, all this time, you guys could have been together from day one, okay? From 1988. Like, and the thing is that you spent Christmas together. So, I mean, well, what happened there? Like, this is what I, like, does the book go into depth about that? Because I'm just like, what happened in Christmas, at Christmas of 1988 that didn't translate to you guys being a thing or being together? Like, what's going on here? But we'll keep it pushing. Everybody cheered. Emma warned Dexter, like, if you play me, I'm gonna get you. And we get to episode 13, which takes place over the years of 2000, 2001, and 2002. So Emma and Dexter, they're together, they're married, you know, and then Emma wants to try for a kid. In 2002, they were supposed to find a place to live together. And Emma gets run over by a car while she's riding her bike. And that day of July 15, 2002, it rains. And I'm just like, as soon as it started raining, that was your sign to know something was bad was about to happen. Like, Emma dies after basically 3 years, give or take, of being with Dexter. So after those 10, 11 years of pining and beating around the bush and dating other people that you really didn't care for, you get 3 years, give or take, with the person that you always wanted to be with, and Emma's dead. So that really hit the audience so bad. And I'm the audience. So, like, it hit the audience. So when we get to episode 14, we're dealing with the aftermath. So 2003, 2004, and then 2007. 2003, a year after Emma's death, you know, he's like, you know, trying to cope. 2004, Tilly decided to invite everybody who made an impact in Emma's life, I guess. But one thing I was just like, where were her parents? Because I'm just like, we understand Steven, you know, Steven's Dexter's father, you know, he showed up. Tilly, best friend. Why was Ian invited but not Emma's parents? Like, what's going on there? Like, what happened there? And who else? And Sylvie was there. Like, that was it. But I'm just like, where was her parents? Like, you bring Ian from a 1993-92 breakup to for what? For what? Like, I was just like, after all that time, you showed up in 2004 to, you know, comfort Dexter of his late wife Emma, who Ian used to date, that she dumped. Like, okay, all right, Tilly. But I mean, I guess in the sense of he was, you know, to put in it, all the people who Emma interacted with on the show, that's the only people that we actually saw. So it made sense in that capacity. But, you know, that scene where, you know, Dexter is just sitting on the floor and he's just thinking, he's basically imagining Emma, and he's like talking and like his thoughts out, and they're having a chat. And, you know, Emma is basically saying, like, something that he knows Emma would say is that time will heal, you know, the situation that's going on with Dexter. Like, you know, the sudden loss of Emma, that he feels like, you know, what's the point of even carrying on this life? And, you know, Emma's like saying, with time. And it was just so subtle. Like, the scene was just like not dramatic to know, like, okay, well, Emma's not there. Like, when Emma's just like laying on Dexter in that scene, and, you know, it seems like he's trying to like put his hand on her, or like to caress her hair. You know, he catches himself and like realizes, like, you know, he's actually dreaming. Like, it was just like such a sweet scene, but it's just like so bittersweet. It was like very bittersweet. We get to 2007 and like we see Dexter like going around the places that him and Emma used to go around in Edinburgh, and it was just like, it was just so sad. He's taking his daughter Jasmine around with him, and, you know, we see all the flashbacks of all their kisses, or compilations of all their kisses. And I'm just like, that's how the show ends. And it's just like, that was it. So basically, the show's basically to tell you to stop waiting around, okay? Stop waiting around. They waited 11 years before they got together officially, okay? 11 years, okay, of waiting around. Also, it's so sad because Emma never made it to 40. She died at 36, 37, give or take. She never made it to 40, which was also the saddest thing too. Like, you know, when she asked Dexter that question of where do you see yourself at 40, she never really answered, you know. But I guess that was the little telling sign that what would happen in the future. But this show is basically saying, like, if you see something that you want, go after it right then and then, you know. Oh, don't wait 10, 11 years and then, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because the way Emma got snatched out of Dexter's life with the quickness was very sad. It was very sad. Shit, like, what's going on here? This show, you know, I really wasn't gonna do a review on the show, but it's just like Dexter in 2003 or in 2004. Like, how do you really move on with a sudden loss like that? Like, really? So I just want to speak about the show because it's just like, you know, those 14 episodes really went into depth about all this, I guess, pining and, you know, wanting and doing things that she shouldn't really be doing to get to the destination that she could have easily got to the destination since 1988, 1989. Okay. But here we are. And that was basically the show One Day. I mean, if you want to watch something that's like kind of like a bittersweet romance situation, then this is a show for you. Like, it's gonna be bittersweet. Like, if that's the type of vibe that you're looking for, One Day is the show for you. Now, if you don't want to watch something like this, then save yourself the bittersweet hurt. But yeah, this was a very excellent show. The acting, episode 7, the acting, that really ate down. Like, they really did their thing. But anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below, let me know your doubts, comments, concerns, and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.